The Resident Evil franchise is one of the most successful survival horror games of all time. It evolved from the 3D fixed camera angles to the PS1 and PS2 era to the next generation realistic graphics. Regarded as one of the most successful franchises ever, it didn't get there without its fair share of mistakes that almost brought the franchise to its knees. However, the series was revived twice when it began to lose direction, by Resident Evil 4 in 2005 and Resident Evil 7 in 2027. Now, the franchise is stronger than ever with recent releases like the Resident Evil Village and the remakes from the classic games. Today, we'll be looking at Resident Evil 2, the remake, and exploring why it's so great. Before we get started, hit that intro, son. Growing up in a township, my gaming experience wasn't quite the same as everybody. Let me tell you a quick story why. Back in the day, in my hood, it was all about the Need for Speed games, the GTA games, and the FIFA. You know, the usual suspects. There wasn't people interested to play Resident Evil games, so I didn't actually have anyone to actually exchange those games, and my mom wasn't gonna buy those games for me, trust me. So finding a person who plays Resident Evil games or games like that wasn't easy. I remember feeling so lucky to even experience the Devil May Cry games, all thanks to a kid who lived out of town and only came here to visit during the holidays. Remember how easy it was to exchange games and movies back then? Seems unbelievable now. So as I got older, I started buying my own games and eventually switched from consoles to PC. That's when I discovered the world of Resident Evil, and let me tell you, it was a whole new ball. So you can actually regard me as like the newcomer of the series, but I like to think myself as also being that in that era, since I now actually follow the franchise. Maybe. And I have to say, the remakes are fantastic. I've played this game 3 times already and it still scares the living daylights out of me. So let's get started with the gameplay and mechanics. The Resident Evil 2 remake shines in this department. With the perfect blend of action and survival horror elements, the shooting mechanics are precise and satisfying, with a variety of weapons to choose from, each with its own unique feel and handling. The addition of the aim and shoot system adds layer of strategy, making combat feel more deliberate and rewarding. The game also features a robust inventory management system, which adds to the survival horror feel. You need to scavenge for ammo and health supplies and other resources, making every encounter feel tense and meaningful. You know, what you should do in a survival scenario. The classic tank controls are back, but with a modern twist that makes them feel more intuitive and responsive. The game also features a variety of puzzles and challenges that require you to think creatively and use resources wisely. From decoding logs to navigating treacherous environments, the gameplay is engaging and challenging from start to finish. Besides the story, the game makes you feel like you're in the midst of a horror survival scenario where the world is ending and you're right in the middle of it. Zombies are lurking around every corner, and the game's pacing and tension makes you feel like you're constantly on edge, with a sense of urgency and desperation that's hard to shake. The story remains largely faithful to the original, with some tweaks to the pacing and character development. Leon and Claire narratives are well crafted, creating a sense of tension and urgency. The game's story is expertly weaving.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Together with focus on characters' struggles to survive in the zombie-infested Raccoon City. Leon's story follows his journey as a rookie cop, trying to uncover the truth behind the sinister Umbrella Corporation, while Claire's story explores her desperate search for her brother, Chris. The game's pacing is well balanced. The moments of intense action and quiet exploration that add the overall sense of tension. Even though I have to say, you kinda not knowing which person comes first when they go to the police station and which person comes last. Like, it's so pretty much difficult to actually see whether Leon goes in first to the Raccoon City police station or Claire goes first. You hardly know, but the game pacing is really good. The characters are well developed and relatable, with the voice acting that brings depth and emotion to the story. The game's themes of survival, sacrifice, and the horrors of biological warfare are thought-provoking and add to the overall sense of unease. Overall, the story is engaging and immersive, with narrative that's both faithful to the original and fresh enough to feel new and exciting for newcomers like us. The game's story is a highlight of the experience, and it's a big part of what's Resident Evil 2 is such a really great classic. The remake of Resident Evil 2 uses a sense of new graphics engine called the RE engine, and it completely transforms Raccoon City. The city feels alive with all the tiny details the engine allows. Imagine this: dirt and grime cling to every brick, flickering streetlights cast the long shadows, and shattered windows litter the ground. You're no longer looking at pre-rendered backgrounds. You're right there in the thick of it, walking through cramped hallways and overrun police stations. Blood spatters on the walls, shadow flicker like hungry monsters, and dim lighting makes you feel like you can't breathe. Even the characters look amazing, with faces that show both fear and determination as they fight for survival. You can't help but to look everywhere you go, checking every corner, every dripping pipe for signs of danger. The sound effects in the game are incredible and make everything even scarier. It's like a symphony of creepy noises. Every creak, groans, and goggle is there to make your sense up. You hear the moans and the infected zombies echoing through the halls, and then there's sudden silence. Then that's where the zombie launches at you. The music adds to the atmosphere too, getting louder during boss fights, then dropping down to keep you on edge.
This thing won't die.
The original game had fixed camera angles, like I mentioned before, but this remake uses an over-the-shoulder view. This puts you right in the shoes of the characters, either Leon or Claire. With the new view and the amazing sound effects, you feel every step you take and every bullet you fire as you fight your way through this terrifying city. It's an intense experience that's way better than the original game in every way.
What?
In conclusion, the Resident Evil 2 remake isn't just a good horror game, it's a masterclass of survival horror. This game is what actually turned me into a fan of the franchise, because I started playing the older games and started watching videos on YouTube to actually get the sense of the entire story of the franchise, which gave me a better understanding of the series' direction. I am truly one of the most exciting fans out there who's like ready to hear what Capcom comes up with when they make the next installment. In fact, I think they should remake Resident Evil 5 with new graphics and mechanics. You know, that's just my opinion, for us newcomers of the series. And that's it for me, guys. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. And I'm trying to be consistent with the videos. If you want me to make longer videos, please let me know in the comments, okay? And don't forget to check out my next video. I'm thinking of doing another review of Far Cry 6. I just finished that game and I have a lot to actually say about that game. Some is good, some is bad, but I just want to compare it to the other installments. Please be sure to check out my daily shorts also that highlight my gameplay as I go along, because I keep putting shorts of any type of reaction I get from a game I play. They're really fun. Anyway, guys, for me, Max from Screen TV Magic, I say sayonara. See you on the next one.